Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesusjunkjournals, and we're moving on. I'm sorry that these videos have kind of been chopped up, but I worked through a bunch of things and then I tried to divide them up into a reasonably long video, and then I didn't want to overwhelm you, so it's gotten a little choppy. So I'm just doing an intro right now just to say welcome, and we're going to move on. So let's go. So now the next thing is this curved flap here. So let me pull that out, and that is on page 10. And so we're going to cut that out and pick the paper out for it. So when I edit these videos, you don't realize like how much time I'm spending on other things, but when I go off to look for my papers, I mean, it can take half hour or more sometimes to find exactly what I want. I just about gave up, and then I found this piece, and I think that's exactly what I was looking for the feminine one. So I'm gonna cut my pocket out of that one, and then on the masculine, I'm gonna use the master board we made earlier, and it's very bumpy and ripply and thick, so I hope that works out, but I'm gonna do it this way so you've got your stripes going across, and I think that'll go really well with that blueprint. So I'm going to get these cut out, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I cut this out and kind of smashed it down with my bone folder, so it's not quite as ripply as it was, but I'm kind of liking it. Maybe I'm just telling myself that. I don't know, but I'm kind of liking the texture of it. So I hope it works out. It doesn't cause any problems down the road because of its thickness. And so now I need to score that 1/2 inch, and I'm guessing it's 1/2 inch. Yes, well, thereabouts. Actually, it's a little bit less than 1/2 inch, but that will work. Okay, so and this is so thick. Okay, so I'm going to fold this back, and now I'm going to try to peel some of this off, this tab, just because that's really going to be bulky. So I'm going to tear off anything that sticks out so it doesn't cause any issues. And the reason that puckered up so bad is that's vellum. So, note to self, don't try to stick vellum down on a masterboard because it doesn't like it. And that's a little thick. Let me see if I can peel any of that off. Okay. So I'm going to stick this down here and then glue on this bottom part. And this might take a clamp since it is so thick. And you want that close to the fold, but I'd still leave it a little bit of room so that when it folds back over, it doesn't stop it. Hope that made sense, what I just said. I'm gonna glue that right there. Just a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so there is that pocket. And you know, it just really kind of blends in. I'm wondering if I need to run a washi tape around it, maybe. It'll be hard because it's curved, but let's see. This will be a little tricky. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see what happens. see how this looks. I kind of gathered it, kind of like you do in sewing. Let's see if it'll wrap around. I'm okay with it not being completely even because this is a master board of all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm gonna say that's okay, at least in my book. And then I'm gonna take this and make it straighter, I think. I really just want something to set the edge off. Okay, that's kind of what I was wanting it to do. And so now we've got, and see that right there, it's like, even though I've got a little bit of room, it's still kind of thick. It'll work, but good thing we've got this string here to hold it down. Okay, so there's that one. And here's the feminine one. So we're gonna score that. I'm gonna do just one notch short of that. And I'm going to ink that, I think, just a little bit. Just to give it a little bit of a finished look, I think. And I'm going to move it back away from the fold just a little bit. And there is that pocket. That one folds down a little bit better. Okay, so we are going to work on now this side of this attachment. And so right underneath this pocket, we need to cover this right here. And so for the masculine, I've got a couple of drawings that my friend did, that the person I'm going to give this to, he has no idea. He gave me a bunch of stuff, and I am putting it in here in different places. So hopefully he'll remember this drawing that he did. Looks like somebody that was playing the organ at church, maybe, would be my guess. And this is heavy watercolor paper that he used. So I hope it sticks all right. So I'm going to glue it over this tab to cover it up, but I'm not going to push it. Actually, do I need to? I've got this little piece of paper here that I'm going to put down here. I might move this up just a little bit. And art glitter glue does not like to be picked up and moved, but I'm doing it anyway. And then I'm going to trim it off from this side. Okay, so this is going to have a belly band over it. Okay, so I'm trying to avoid the center because it's going to have a strip over the middle of it. So I don't want it to show his hand. So I might even leave a brown, I might even leave that jagged. I think I'm going to just go ahead and tear this off. And let it be raggedy on the edge. And then glue this here. And I've got this face here that he drew. Let's see if I can get that down here maybe. I think I'll just cut this side off. And glue it there. So this sort of helps to hide this white paper over here that's the glue tab. I could have put washi tape over it if I really wanted to conceal it completely. And then that's going to go there. And then we still have the belly band. And that is on page 12. It's just this strip of paper. And on the masculine, I'm going to use this Eco Dye paper that I used inside, just again to repeat these things so that it makes it more cohesive. And I had this strip of it, and it just kind of is perfect for it. And it might even be wider than this, and that would be fine too. This is just a guide. You can make your belly band as wide or as narrow as you would like. So I had this strip left. So I want to get as much of that green as I can. Okay, so that is going to go down on it like that. I wonder if I'm not liking that as much as I thought it would. I wonder if I use just some washi tape, if that will make it look better. Okay, I have no idea how this is going to look, but I'm going to give it a shot. Let's see. Hopefully it'll look quirky and eclectic. See if I like that any better. Well, not really, but I do like the fact that I got these drawings on here, so I guess I will leave it. So now I need to glue the belly band on. So just glue top and bottom. And center it. All right, so there's that. Then we're going to flip this over. Okay, I was getting ahead of myself. I need to come back and do the same pocket for the feminine that I did on the masculine. So I went ahead and cut my paper out. I'm using the same paper that I used on another part of the journal. So again, trying to get that continuity. So I just cut that size. And I guess it's not really directional, so I can put it either way up. I'll do this. And it's gotta go up against this flap, but let it, still want to make sure it folds. And then I can go back and trim that edge if I want to. Or I could use ink on this side of it. And then the belly band, I used the same paper I used just a little bit ago. And I'm gonna glue that on. All right, so that we're caught up on both of them. So this one, let me show you on the regular, on the finished one that I did, what this looks like. So this is, here's the belly band and that, and here's the pocket. So it's this right here. And so move this out. So this just shows right here because you're now going to put this torn pocket, and that is on page, this is page 5. Okay. And I need to write that on here because this is page 5, add-on kit, page 5, title panel. And then this goes with something from page 11. So you don't really need to know this. This is from page 5. So if you're keeping track, there's that. And so you're just going to cut a rectangle and then tear the edge. And it can be wider or narrower depending on what you think you want, or if you want to show the paper underneath more or the pocket more. when I did this one, I like this paper, so I left it really wide and just tore a little bit off. As you can see, I just tore that much off. But if you like the paper underneath, you could just make a little narrow torn pocket. So it's just up to you. It could go either way. And this is how we're going to get it attached to the main journal. So we want to leave that up. Don't glue that down. So on the masculine, I found, so I had already cut part of this print out and used it, and I love these hummingbirds. So I'm going to use this for my torn pocket, and it's kind of got a notch cut out of it. So normally you would tear it in a straight line, but I'm going to tear this one and just barely tear the edge off, because I want to keep as much of these hummingbirds as I can, and then it's going to be not straight. Like I'm going to let it jog just slightly over, and I'm trying to tear it this way so that I don't get the white edge on this side, like that. So it's not a straight tear, but that's okay because it'll keep the birds where I want them. And to get the tail of that bird means it's only going to be able to go that far over, and that's fine too. So I'm going to cut or draw a line and then cut. And I'm just going to eyeball it, but I want to get as close to that as I can to give myself as much of a pocket as I can. So I'm going to do this. And then on the underside, I think I'm just going to use this neutral sort of print. I think maybe, and I'm trying to figure out if I want those stamps to show. So it's going to be something like this. I think that's too confusing, so maybe I just use this plain edge. So I'll glue that on, and then I'll cut it off later. Let's see how this is gonna, this needs to go to the edge. And I'm gonna ink this. And this folds like this. So I've got this brown edge showing, but that's fine. I'm glad it's not white paper. So I'm pretty good with it as long as it's not white paper showing. Okay, so there is that pocket with the torn edge. So now I need to go, ooh, and while I'm inking, this needs to be inked. I still need to figure out the paper I want to use on the girl, on the feminine, on the pink one. I'm going to go figure out which paper to use on the feminine, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I'm on the pink one, and I cut just a little bit of a strip of this to go underneath for the pocket. Hopefully I cut enough. It's going to be, I didn't leave much to tear off, but I'm going to use that. I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. And I just want the very, very edge of it. Let's see if I can do that. So I've got this tear ruler I'm going to use. And all right, that worked fine. Go ahead and ink. I'm going to ink the torn edge just to make it stand out a little bit more. And then glue that on. Like that. And so there is that pocket. So I think now I'm going to go ahead and attach this before I put the last panel in. And actually, I think I will let this, I'm going to stop this video at this one, and then we'll pick back up on the next video and finish this thing off, I think. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.